Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do a workout you can do in your home. Again, remember to always come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. So for today we're going to use a fit ball again. If you don't have a fit ball, you can do these exercises that we're going to use on the floor or seated in a chair. Also, we're going to need a lighter weight kettlebell or a dumbbell, it doesn't matter, either one. A pillow or a balance disc or something to squeeze, a softer ball, and then a medicine ball. Again, if you don't have any of those, you can just use one dumbbell for all of these things that we're going to do with dumbbells. But then we are going to do some knee and arm squeezes. So if you have a couple pillows or a couple softer balls you could use, go ahead and pick those up right now. All right, so we are going to start with a straight arm overhead lats doing a bridge on the ball. Again, you can do this on the floor. You can do it in a bridge on the floor with your back on the floor, your feet on the floor, and then your hips lifted. Similar to last workout, we're going to start in a bridge here where we walk out, put your head and shoulders comfortably on the ball, and a flat surface from your knees to your hips. Start with the one dumbbell right overhead. Arms are going to stay straight for this. We're going to let that weight go straight overhead and then straight back up. 2. This is another way to work those large muscles in your back, your lats. This also works your shoulders. So keeping your arms straight keeps your triceps out of it. Remember last time we did the bent arm with the band, and this time we're keeping them straight to really work those lats. Keep your abs nice and tight, nice and slowly. 7. If this is too much, another way you can do it is to bend your elbows, but keep them at that same angle. So you're not going to bend and straighten them. Like if you have a weight that's just too much, this will just shorten the lever. So let's do 2 more. This is a longer lever. This is a shorter level. Notice my elbow angle isn't changing with this one. So it's the same muscles that are working. It's just a shorter lever. Okay. Next, we're going to do a side lunge. Again, so I always recommend doing this like at a kitchen counter or somewhere where you can hang on if you have a bar, or you can use a piece of equipment and walk along beside it. We're going to do side lunges. So straight out to the side, a big step out, and you want to sit your hips back. So I'm bending this knee, I'm keeping this knee straight, and my hips are way back, so my weight is in my heel. Just like those reverse lunges, you want your weight in your heel. Now we're going to go to the other side. Weight in your heel. 2, I don't have any weights here. You can add weights if you would like. So you could have a weight in one hand, keep it over here like this, switch, reach down, or you can do it with no weights if you really need to hang on. Like I said, the kitchen counter is a good place for this because you can stand with it right here, making sure that you're sitting back. Now, if this is painful at all, first of all, make sure you're stepping really far out to the side, really large range of motion so that your knee stays over your ankle. You don't want to step here and then be going like this. So you really want a big step, weight back in your heel, hips going backwards. So this is 6. Also, if you feel like this is still too much, if you're doing all of those right things, step out and just do a little lunge. You can do a shorter or smaller range of motion. So just same, everything stays the same, it's just a smaller range of motion. So you're not bending that knee quite as much, but you're really focused on sitting your hips back. Like if there's a chair right here that I'm going to sit back into. 2 more each side. Keeping your chest up as tall as you can. So you don't want to bend over like this. Keeping that chest up, looking forward. All right, good. So if you can do 10 on each side, if it's just way too much, maybe start with 3 or 4, 5, work up to 7, things like that. So you can ease into it if that's just too much for you. Okay, now we're going to sit back down on the ball. If you don't have a ball, you can sit in a chair. And I want you to either grab that smaller weight kettlebell or a dumbbell that you use either in the first exercise or maybe a little bit lighter if you have that option. Okay, so we are just going to do a front raise. So this is a shoulder exercise, but it also works your back, which is why I want you seated so that if you do have low back pain, this will not affect you. So before you go into this, make sure your shoulders are down and back, chin is tucked, you're in a very good posture, and then I want you to contract those abs. I want you to have a really good contraction there so that your back doesn't take over when we lift this weight out in front of us. Okay, so grab that dumbbell, straighten your arms, set it right on your knees, and we're going to lift it up only to shoulder height and back down. Now don't touch your knees. 3, keep those abs contracted so your back doesn't take this. 4. Now, if it's too much out here, bend your elbows. So you're still doing this. You're still going to be lifting it up, still working those shoulder muscles, shorter lever, just like that lat pull. Keep breathing, keep those abs contracted. 9 and 10. Good. So like I said, if that's too much and if you're feeling it in your back at all, bring that weight closer to you. So we'll lift it up and down here. Still working your shoulders. We're not doing a bicep curl. We're still just working your shoulders, but in a smaller, shorter lever. Okay. Now, staying on that ball or staying in your seated chair, grab those soft things I was talking about. I'm going to use my balance disc and a small, squishy, just kind of playground ball. We're going to do knee squeezes and arm squeezes. So we're going to work your pelvic floor, your adductors, your core will come into to engage here, and then we're going to squeeze that ball. So you're also getting some pec and some shoulder involvement there as well. Okay, so again, start with those shoulders down and back, and we're going to squeeze and hold and release. Squeeze and hold and release. Now you can control how hard you are squeezing. I mean, you can, really squeeze both really, really hard, or you can just kind of give it a little squeeze to ease into it. You can kind of go back and forth and feel what feels like a good contraction. It's a good isometric contraction. It's an isometric hold, but you're coming in and out of it. Keep breathing. When you do both, when you squeeze those arms and you squeeze your knees, then your abs will also have to engage to help keep you in a good position and to just make it possible for all those different muscle groups to be working simultaneously. Deep breathing. Don't hold your breath with these. Let's do 3 more. Now you can, really squeeze with your palms. You can grab it and really squeeze with all of your fingers. Make this a finger workout. Put it out on your fingertips and squeeze. And let's do 1 more. All right, good. That's a really good hip stabilizer that you can do that shouldn't cause any pain because you're not going through any range of motion. But it's a great hip stabilizer that you can, you're working all the areas of your hips then. So that's an adduction movement. We do lots of abduction and extension. So we're getting all areas and all ranges of motion for those hips. Okay, next we're going to lower to the floor and do a Russian twist. So you can grab that dumbbell that you've been using, or you can grab a medicine ball if you happen to have one. And we're going to lower to the floor. So I've got my medicine ball and my dumbbell. I'm just going to use the dumbbell for today. So we're going to sit back. You're going to sit. You could sit on a pad or put a pillow or a rolled up towel, like right behind your sacrum here, because I want you to sit, just rest your heels on the floor, your knees are bent, you're going to lean back, and then we're going to move that weight side to side. Breathe. 4, twisting your torso. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10. Good. So the further back you go, the more difficult it'll be. The more upright you are, the easier it'll be. So, but challenge yourself a little. If you're just here, it's not going to work your abs a whole lot. You want to be leaning back at least a little. And again, you can sit, you could put maybe, you know, this balance disc, that type of thing, like in the small of your back to give you some support. And that's okay. Or like a small, soft medicine ball or a little pillow or something like that. If you need that support for your low back, that's perfectly okay. I'd rather have you do that to maintain your proper posture and to prevent back pain. Okay, one more thing. We're going to stand up and grab that small ball that we were using, or you could use a tennis ball or a golf ball or a racket ball, anything like that. And then make sure you stand up slowly. And we're going to do a balance. So we're going to stand on one foot or a tandem stance or a staggered stance. So you choose your level of challenge. We're going to go for 30 seconds and play catch. If you're doing this with a partner, you can play catch with your partner, challenge each other if it's feeling easy. Now, if you're just here, this is going to be easier, right? So start here, just kind of changing hands with the ball. Whoops. And then make it a little bit further. So you can challenge yourself and put it higher in the air. Put it out to the side a little bit. And let's switch feet. So put the other foot in front or stand on the other foot. If you find whatever level challenge that you decided to do is too much, take it down a notch. So if you're standing on one foot and it's too much, go into a tandem stance or a staggered stance. Or if you're standing on one foot and you're feeling like it's pretty easy, you can stand on a pillow, you can stand on a balance pad. Lots of ways to make this more or less challenging depending on where you're at. Okay. Great, that's it for today. So go through these 1 or 2 more times each and add some cardio in between. Keep that heart rate up, make this a full workout, and really challenge yourself and really keep moving. All right, thank you everybody, and we will see you next time.